What's up guys, Z here, and we're doing an Overwatch video on Pharah. And I'm just going to do a rundown like I did for Soldier 76. So basically, start with the primary weapon, which is a rocket launcher. Now, her rocket launcher does splash damage. It has 6 rockets per clip. It works a little bit different than most of the other projectile based heroes. More like Junkrat, but kind of straight line as opposed to arced. You know, people play Pharah incorrectly sometimes by using her as if her bullets get there instantaneously, and they do not. I mean, at medium range, it'll take about a second for her rockets to get to the enemy. So that can make for a lot of missed shots. So what she's good at is getting off the ground. She can fly. With her jump, if you hold in space, you can hover or fly or gain altitude. She spends a lot of time in the air. That's what this character is about. She's about being in the air a lot, blowing people up with splash damage. Because the chances of you hitting directly onto a body with the rockets are not super high, but you kind of have to predict where your enemies are going to be at. And if you think back to the Quake days and Unreal Tournament, I used to use the rocket launcher all the time. And the reason why it was so awesome is because you could pretty much kill somebody without even hitting them, as long as you get where they're landing off of jumps or near walls that they're near, or the ground itself. If you just did a hop, you would shoot down at where they're standing, and it would blow them the hell up. It was awesome. So Pharah's kind of the same way. You're not going for a precise shot all the time. You can go for the thread the needle shots, but you're going for kind of like really close to where your enemies are, and the splash will hit them. So leading into the next part, which is her jump jets, like I said, when you hit spacebar, you have a slow ascending and moving aerial ability. And I say slow because it's very easy to pick her out of the air. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Being in the air lets you call out your enemies for your teammates, but it also makes you a freaking target to every person on that team. So you kind of have to pick and choose. You don't want to be in the air 24/7, even though it helps you get that nice splash damage and nice view of what's going on, because you will get taken out all the time. The more people that are seeing you, the more people are going to be shooting at you. And she's not really a tough character. She's pretty squishy. She only has 200 health points. So, you know, you got to be kind of careful with that. Since she only has 6 shots in the rocket launcher, it's better to actually not just randomly shoot 24/7. There can be some good to that, but you don't want to be caught without your rocket launcher if somebody's catching you off guard and you have to like blow them away really quickly. So I don't recommend spraying all over the place with rockets, but you can see that sometimes, and I am not a good Pharah player. I'm okay, but I'm not that good. The way I play is a lot more spray and pray than I would like it to be. But if you're really good, you can kind of like get good with the timed shots and actually hit enemies much more often if your accuracy is very good. So timing your shots can actually help you deal more damage than just blowing through your rockets and then having to reload again. So what should Pharah focus on as targets? I believe she should focus on healers, definitely. And also not so much tanks, but disrupting the flow of the other composition. Like, for example, right here, I try to get Mercy to get away from the Reinhardt, and it didn't work out for me. But I've done it before where I've used her repulse shot to push away Reinhardt or push away Mercy from one or the other. So it breaks that like unbeatable barrier that my team cannot get past. So it can be very utility as this role of aerial like shot caller and everything. Pharah's pretty serious. So we touched on it, the concussive blast that she can shoot. It has a long cooldown, so you don't want to like just spam it for no reason. And I have a bad habit of doing that to disrupt the composition of the other team. However, you can use it as a mobility skill. And what you do is when you're flying around, or even if you're on the ground, you point behind you and you hit the blast and it will launch your character faster than she can run. And like I said, this is true whether it's on the ground or in the air. So you can move a lot faster than you normally be able to with the concussion blast. It can also be used, as I used it actually in here, I knocked Reinhardt off the platform and it killed him. He fell into a death trap on the map. And he cannot fly, and you will see that in a few seconds right there, I get knocked off the map, but I can fly, so I recovered. So I saved a life from running back to the match and getting involved. I was right back into it. So she's pretty utility. I mean, I enjoy playing Pharah. It's unfortunate that I'm not better at her, but the aspect of flying, aspect of big splash damage, you know, being able to shove people around, it really breaks people up and it throws them off guard sometimes. So let's get into her shift ability. Is basically it's like a super jump jet into the air. It just like rockets you really, really fast. And it's good for if you're taking people out, like for example, we're trying to push back this package, and I can just hit shift and launch into the air if I need to hit people that are behind the package, because I can launch and hover and just start lighting them up right behind there if they're taking cover from all my teammates. So it's a good repositioning skill. And you can couple this with Concussion Blast to really launch vertically and then horizontally extremely quickly. So it'll be like a Genji move where you just kind of reposition, or a Tracer. You reposition so quickly that the enemy can't keep up, and therefore they can't hit you, and you keep surprise attacking them. So it can be pretty awesome. Her ultimate, she shoots rockets all over the place. Announces that she's using her ultimate, which is a bad thing, because then all the enemies know to look for a Pharah in the sky and shoot her out of the sky, because you can't move. You can move where you're facing, but you cannot evade anything. So it's very common to get taken out. So the ultimate I recommend doing behind like a pillar or not totally out in the open, and you'll have much more success. Overall, she's a glass cannon, requires skill and movement and prediction to master. She's a great character to play as, very, very fun. So get out there and play as the queen of the battlefield. Later.